Hello, friends. Welcome to our edition of This Day That Year. In this program, we actually inform you about some of the important historic incidents that happened today. And today is October 5th. So let us find out what are the important incidents. Well, friends, the first information is about the Kublai Khan, and I am not sure whether you're aware of this name or have you heard of this name before. Kublai Khan was the grandson of the great Genghis Khan, and he was one of the big time Mongol emperor, and his territory was today China and rest of the Eastern Asia continent, and he was a very powerful ruler of the day. And the only thing that he did not had was the Japan, and as you know, Japan has never been colonized by any external country, not including China. So the influence on Japanese people is very minimum. If you look at the external influence that affects the globe, as the people across the globe travel between countries, so that influence, external influence on Japan, was very low. However, Kublai Khan tried to invade Japan in his first ever recorded invasion on the soil of Japan was by Kublai Khan in the year 1874, with 1,000 soldiers of Mongol army landed on one of the islands of Japan, not on the main islands, but one of the islands of Japan, and that is recorded as the first invasion. Well, it is quite difficult to invade Japan because on the south there is a South China Sea, which is very notorious for tornadoes. So even if you try to approach Japan and invade them, you are not sure about what is going to happen, what is in store for you in the South China Sea, because tornadoes emerge out of nothing. So there is another invasion in which the entire Kublai Khan and he himself perished in an invasion, a full-fledged invasion on Japan, but that is for another day. Let's move to the next one, and this is about India. Talking about tornadoes and cyclones, in the year 1864, on October 5th, there was a huge cyclone that destroyed Calcutta. In those days, we used to call Calcutta. In today's time, we call the city as Kolkata. And in 1864, a lot of people perished because of this cyclone. As an estimate, 60,000 people died on that fateful day. So you can imagine, in 1864, so many people dying, it would have been a catastrophe. And this happened on October 5th, which is today, in the year 1864. Let's move to the next one. This is about flight. And the Wilbur Wright, used his aeroplane called Flyer 3, and he flew for a longer duration, almost like 40 kilometers, 38.9 kilometers in 39 minutes and 23 seconds. So it was historic in the year 1905 on October 5th, where Wilbur Wright was able to prove, rather both the brothers, Orville and Wilbur, were able to prove to the world that a flying machine or an aeroplane is a real deal, and you can also do long distance flight on this contraption. Okay, let's move to the next one. Well, this is about Bulgaria. We know this country, and today we think that this must be one of the European country which existed forever, because this name sounds so much Eastern European, it must be a real deal. But you will be surprised that Bulgaria got independence from Turkey in the year 1908. So, this is not such a old country. It would have been a monarchy, but they were basically ruled by Turkey, and they finally got together, and they fought for it and declared independence on October 5th in the year 1908. Let's move to the next one. Our favorite subject, because we cannot end our show without talking about Adolf Hitler. Well, Adolf Hitler was a soldier in the German army during the First World War. He was on the front line also fighting the Allies. Hitler was a notch above a normal soldier because he was on a cycle. So he was called a cycle soldier, where in addition to the gun and the bullets, uniform, he also had a bicycle to ride on. So he was a notch higher than the normal soldier which were fighting in the trenches, because Hitler was riding a bicycle. So today, on October 5th in 1916, he got wounded in the battle when a shrapnel hit his thigh, and he was basically hospitalized. But this battle was a key battle. This was the first German invasion of France, and this is known as Battle of Somme in the northeastern France. And Adolf Hitler participated as a soldier in this battle. He got wounded on October 5th, 1916. All right, let's move to the next one. Again about America. And we all know that the television is a contraption which replaced the radio, and today nobody basically tune into radio. There are certain podcasts which are available on the internet, but there is hardly any radio transmission anymore now. And as and when the 5G services are enabled, radio will be thing of the past, because everything moved towards the virtual reality and the video transmissions. But the TV transmission really started with the Berlin Olympics in 1932, which was the first televised program in the history of mankind. So, although this news is not about the first television transmission, but this is about the first televised presidential address to the nation by President Harry Truman in the year 1947 on October 5th. This was the first presidential television transmission for the American people. Let's move to the next one. Well, we talk about countries becoming democratic republic in true sense, and we were surprised that even France did not had the constitution. Few days back, we actually talked about that incident, and there are several other countries, even though they call themselves democratic, but they did not had the constitution. In absence of constitution, the democracy can be misused by monarchs, because you don't have a rule book. So Brazil, a country, such large country as big as America, they did not had the constitution until 1988. It is a very surprising thing, because India got independence in 1947, and in 1949 we had the constitution, we had the rule book, which is still followed after 70 years. But Brazil, a large country like Brazil, they were independent long ago, and they got the constitution implemented in the year 1988 on October 5th. Isn't it surprising, friends? What do you feel? Share your thoughts with the comment in this live stream. Okay, so let's talk about President Donald Trump. Well, surprising thing is Donald Trump is very headstrong person, and he is a proven business person, very prudent, one of the richest in the world, one of the richest in Americas, and he knows what is to be done, what is not to be done, especially when it comes to business. But politics is a different ball game, and his business rules not necessarily applies in politics. So on October 5th, 2020, he was infected and hospitalized because of COVID. But probably he got bored just lying around in the hospital. So he decided to boycott all rules of quarantine and isolation. He left the hospital and reached White House, even though he was still infected with COVID. So such an irresponsible and irrational behavior from a president. This happened today on October 5th, because you're supposed to be isolated and if you're not isolated, you will basically spread the infection to others. So Donald Trump today in 2020 acted very, very erratically and very irresponsibly on October 5th. All right, let's move to the next one. And this is the last information. This is an incident which happened in the year 2021 on October 5th, when the Russian crew, the film crew, basically, they were trained to be astronauts, and they were sent to space today inside a Soyuz spacecraft to film the first ever film shot in zero gravity in the space. And this feat was accomplished by the Russian crew, and this movie is about a rescue of an cosmonaut, because they are Russians. This is a movie which is yet to be released, and this is the first movie to be ever shot without any CGI, without any special effects, but in real time, in zero gravity environment in space. This was the crew was sent to space on October 5th in the year 2021. So friends, these are some of the important incidents that happened today. And if you have any comments, any suggestion, feel free to write back, or better would be to participate with your comments and suggestion during the live stream. So friends, you have a nice day, and I will catch you again with more facts, more historic important incidents tomorrow in the same live stream. Catch you tomorrow. Have a nice day.